Well, I guess I owed it to you guys to do this video, given the fact that last year did not get a ending.
I don't think anybody missed it anyway.
You know, it's funny because we actually got a lot of people watching the Apprentice videos this year, a lot more so than last year, so there's some of you out there are enjoying this, so thanks. We appreciate this, we really do. Let's talk about the final task and the final episode for this season of Celebrity Apprentice. We'll talk about what we think could possibly happen in the future at the end, but I just want to go into the episode here. So, right away, the first thing, it seems like it happens every year, Eric Trump is left in the audience. He's not allowed to sit at the boardroom for the final task, apparently, ever.
Well, I was expecting, for a second there, I thought they were going to, snub him, because he was saying, my wonderful children, and he can say, Dawn and Ivanka, and then I expected, just kind of a cut. He would just keep talking, and then we just have a cut to Eric sitting in the audience with the one tear.
That'd be funny. Well, this season's raised over $15 million for charity. That's insane. They said it's the biggest and best season so far. I don't know if I necessarily agree with that, but...
Yeah, he says that every time.
Exactly. So, $250,000 is on the line here, so that's a nice chunk of change. Then you have people like Penn Jillette, who unjustly were fired last season, and he gave $250,000 out of his own pocket to Opportunity Village, so it happens. It's a battle of talk show hosts. Geraldo, of course, very famous talk show host, and Lisa Gibbons is also another talk show host. You probably didn't watch her show, but I did every once in a while.
I recognized her name, but
yeah.
That's it.
So let's go to what happened to this task, shall we? Well, first off, we start off the fact Geraldo and Lorenzo have 30 minutes to get everything shot with the kids, because apparently they have contracts and union and everything like that, and they can't get the thing done in 30 minutes. They're going to lose the kids, which is the cornerstone of Geraldo's campaign here. So obviously, don't forget, it takes courage, kids. The dragon is real, remember that? So they get there, and it's funny, they're off doing their thing, and Lisa's off in Hogsmeade, and of course she's filming Potter stuff as well. They're trying to film, but Kevin Jonas is kind of there. And since Kevin Jonas is there, he's kind of creating a crowd. And this crowd is also now being coached by Kevin Jonas to, you guys can take as many pictures as you want, but step over to the side just a little bit, because we're kind of trying to film a television show here.
It was the parent thing where...
Yeah.
You have Vivica saying one thing... It was Vivica, wasn't it?
Mm.
It was Vivica saying one thing and Kevin saying another, and then one can't get the crowd to go, and the other just has to say one thing, and then everybody obeys. It's like when the child, will obey the mom, but not the dad.
Oh, yeah, totally. So, Lisa's going to leave him in charge, because he knows how to work a camera, and he knows how to get things done. So, Lisa's going to go off and edit, and we're going to leave Kevin Jonas in charge, which makes perfect sense to me, because he seems to know what he's doing. He's got a future as a director. So, at this point, Geraldo's over doing his presentation, his video. You see Minion Mayhem and Transformers, Spider-Man, Zeus Landing, off to Hogsmeade, where he's back in his robe yet again. His Madame Malkin's robe, of course. And he's drinking butterbeer, because it's the greatest drink in the world, obviously.
I knew you would...
I love butterbeer.
As soon as I saw him take the drink, I was...
He had the butterbeer mustache and everything. Yeah, I thought that's pretty over with me. So, we go back to live. Back to New York, obviously. And that's when they finally thanked Eric Trump. We finally see him for the first time. So we're coming full circle here. So, Lorenzo is directing, and he's editing, and everything's going great. Everything's going wonderful. Geraldo is off looking for a musical guest. Now, we brought up Josh Groban. Apparently, he wasn't able to be there.
Did they even mention it?
No. I think it just got forgotten.
Well, I think I mentioned last week, it's almost like he was trying to kind of, maybe not impress Ian, but kind of make Ian Ian's Rolodex feels small in
Yeah.
comparison, so he just kind of said, "Oh yeah, I can get Josh Groban," not even thinking about
I
it.
can call up Josh Groban right now to say 5 words. No, Geraldo, apparently you cannot, because Josh Groban has a gasp career, and he's actually able to be kind of busy at this time. So that's probably why he wasn't even there. Probably didn't even call the guy.
Like cameos and Muppets Most Wanted, he's busy doing that kind of thing.
Exactly. So we have this working out, and he finally gets a hold of Tony Orlando. Okay.
He did not reference the name, so
Yeah.
we don't know if that was... Maybe that was in his subconscious or something.
It possibly was. It possibly was. And Tony Orlando just looks like he never ages. He really does. I mean, the guy looks good for his age, honestly. He really does. I mean, he doesn't look like he did back in the day, but he still does. It's just like a little bit more like older, but he still looks the same.
Just shudder at the last time we saw him.
Yeah. Oh, God.
Do you remember?
Not off the top of my head.
That's my boy.
Yeah. I knew what you're talking about. I just didn't remember exactly where I knew it was from, but
I don't know why I remember that.
Oh, God. Well, Tony Orlando has a sister who's developmentally disabled, so obviously he has a connection to Geraldo's charity, so obviously he's going to go jump right to help him out and help out the charity in the long run.
Spoiler, there's tears involved.
Yeah. Oh, boy. Really? You really had to go there?
I'm sorry if that was offensive.
After all this, Ian finally says Geraldo's a good guy. Like the tears you mentioned. So yeah, there you go. So Kevin brings everyone churros, because why not?
Product placement.
Yes, he brings product placement churros. So Geraldo and his team watch the rough cut of the commercial, and Ian says, I would have made this more about the family if it was me. Well, if you would have played better, it might have been you, but no, it wasn't you, so there.
Though it is funny that it came back later when the other team was watching the tape, and it was, wow, there's a lot of Geraldo.
There's way too much. It's funny because Lorenzo brings up Team Geraldo being the name of the team back in the original day, and it finally comes to fruition. It just is all the way at the end of the show. So, Lisa's trying to get the fundraising to beat Geraldo. Geraldo's been pretty heavy-hitting when it comes to her fundraising tasks, but Lisa somehow was able to beat him this time around.
He used it all up.
Yeah, he used all his Rolodex up, and Lisa still had a few people in her back pocket, and used it to her advantage, and she actually won. So she won the final task. That was kind of cool. So we finally get back to New York once again, and they introduce, of course, half of the cast at the beginning, and they get half of the cast at the end. The half of the cast they bring out at the end are the people that were involved with the final task. Well, there's 2 people missing, and I'm going to bring this up, obviously. Now, there's one that I don't care about, and one that obviously I do, and I'm sure you probably were curious why people were missing, because they were the only ones missing. There were 2 of them missing, and that was it.
Well, I was trying to figure out, because Sig did not seem happy about being fired.
Correct.
Was something holding him back, or did he not want to?
He was in Alaska.
Hmm.
He was doing his steez in Alaska.
I was kind of hoping there was drama, damn it.
And, of course, Sean wanted to be there and tried to be there, but she got stuck in the blizzard in Nashville in the airport, so she wasn't able to make it for the final. So that's the reason why.
Let me take a wild guess. You said something on Twitter about it, didn't you?
Of course I did. What are we talking about here? It's me we're talking about. So Kenya finally does not admit that she stole the phone. No one admits she stole the phone. So
and then they just drop it.
Then they drop it like it's nothing.
Yeah, that was a whole thing.
Have you seen this phone? Dial 555-12334, stuff like that. And then it's like, let's drop this. Because no one cares. Like, some people kind of do. Because this is stuff you talk about in recaps. So, I mean, this stuff...
I don't think the show ever cared.
No, probably not. Well,
at least they didn't turn it into some, big scripted story or anything. I suppose we can at least commend them for that.
I agree with that. So let's talk about their 2 respective parties. Gilbert Gottfried arrives, and he says to Lisa he's only there for the free food. I don't blame him. Trump arrives midway through, and out of nowhere, here come Bumblebee and Optimus Prime. Because it is Universal, and this is the first time we've seen anything there, other than the fact that the Minions are there, too.
at first I thought that was one of their presentations, and I was like, oh man, whoever did this is gonna win.
Yeah, no lie.
Oh, never mind, Universal did that.
Yes. So Geraldo brings up his team on stage, and he creates the newest story for Lorenzo Lamas' storied career, and he's going to call him the Revenger. He didn't mention Renegade, he called it the Revenger. Okay. Someone, I'm sure, has already made that movie right now, and they're like, I'm waiting to put a title to it. Let's call it the Revenger.
And the great Ian Zierling.
Zierling, yes. Oh my god. So, and he made fun of Geraldo's name too, so it turned about as fair play.
You know, the way he and Ian like got along through the whole season, and the fact that like Ian brought up they had worked together that whole time,
Mm-hmm.
I had thought he mispronounced it on purpose just to screw with him, but apparently Geraldo just fucked it up that much.
Yeah, it sounds like it. So Geraldo's concept is discover your own inner hero, which actually works really well. The only problem is it's way too much Geraldo. Way too much Geraldo. Here comes Tony Orlando out, and he sings Tie a Yellow Ribbon, of course, and marks out the crowd because it's Tie a Yellow Ribbon by Tony Orlando, so obviously everyone's going to love that. I don't know if you know the song or not, but I'm guessing you probably do. All right, good. So Lisa's on stage, and she's a great presence about herself, and she brings out Olivia Newton-John to sing Magic, which makes perfect sense because that's pretty much her concept. And it's interesting because she promised her mother she would tell her story. Her mother is suffering from Alzheimer's, and before she actually went into the point of no return, unfortunately, she had made a promise she would tell her story. And that's exactly what she does. She takes the time on this task to tell her story. And that's commendable, it really is. So everyone's out there. Obviously, everyone back in New York, everyone's there with the exception of Sean and Sig. So there doesn't seem to be as much heat as before, even though Kenya's still getting heat from everyone, which I don't blame her because she's an insufferable human being, according to the show. She may not be in real life, but I mean, at least how she's portrayed on the show, she's not.
I wouldn't.
I don't know. Yeah.
We'll just
We'll go with that.
Yeah. Stereotype, it's faster.
Yeah, exactly. Clooneyisms for the win. So, I love Lisa's line, when fun is your only agenda. I thought that worked really well, so that's fine. So, it's funny because apparently, just like Vivica before, she marked out at the beginning of the show, completely. And then she does so at the end, because apparently someone's trying to get a hold of me, and I don't really care. When Olivia Newton-John comes out to sing Magic, of course, Vivica's like, oh, this is the greatest thing ever, I love Olivia Newton-John. Because she's a big grease mark, just like all of us are. I will give kudos to Geraldo. It's the little things sometimes, because Geraldo was wearing a Gryffindor striped tie. I thought that worked really well. Most people don't pick that up, but I did, so there.
I'm beginning to think, with the way he decided to do the task, and to know to do that kind of thing, I think Geraldo is a fan. Like a huge-ass fan of Harry Potter.
Dude, I want to dress up like Harry Potter and be an investigative reporter. No, you just want to dress up like Harry Potter. I want to go to Ollivanders. I want to go to Mount of Malkins. I was like, it's an awesome place to go. I would know this, but still.
You know, Geraldo, you are the kind of person where you could just do that for recreation if you wanted to. Nobody would question you.
Nope. Not one iota. So, it's funny because Trump tries to pronounce Keisha Knight Pulliam's name, and that doesn't work.
I love that he didn't even pronounce it badly. He just gave up halfway through.
So, it's our Idina Menzel moment of the evening. Miss Universe is in the crowd, so obviously that means she's probably going to get on the show. Eventually. So they taped a boardroom, of course.
That was such a Trump plug.
I hate it.
There was no purpose for that.
Oh my god. So Lorenzo says Geraldo's a natural in front of the camera. Ian says, call me Ian. Mm-hmm. I'm okay with that. He finally comes to terms with the fact that people are going to mispronounce his name. For someone that actually has a legitimate name that is not unpronounceable, but something that is spelled incorrectly all the time, I totally feel your pain, sir. So everybody, of course, is asked one by one who should win, and everybody's pretty much split down the middle. So at the end, we finally find out that it wasn't even close. The Rolodex had finally closed for Geraldo because he lost. He lost a fundraising task. Lisa raised $324,000, which is awesome, totally awesome, because obviously her charity got to keep every dime of it, so that's cool.
Well, I think it was kind of obvious right away because when they said Geraldo's number, wasn't there a single check that Lisa got that was pretty close to that by itself?
Oh yeah, totally. She got
So
100 grand at least once. So yeah, that completely killed Geraldo right there. If only people were watching what we were seeing, they would know that he was already screwed. So with PhoneGate coming to pass, when it comes down to it, Vivica blames the hair and makeup person. That was weird. But apparently she's one of the only people that could have taken the phone, and we still don't know where the phone is. Because apparently when you have your hands like this, it means that you're guilty. Okay, sure. Johnny makes everyone understand the truth that Lisa was pretty successful as a project manager, and Geraldo was successful as a project manager, but not as much. So, Johnny Damon, the voice of reason.
I saw something with him recently with, like, the hair.
The hair?
Yeah, I had never,
Okay.
You just Google it, you know what I'm talking about.
Right on. So they have a really awesome moment putting over both charities. I really enjoyed that as well. I thought that was really done for the perspective of getting us to understand the charities, since throughout the season, we haven't really got as much into the charities as we have the past years. Like the checks being delivered at the beginning of every episode. That doesn't happen this year, apparently. Gilbert once again says he should win, which is great. Then he says Geraldo.
Oh, it is nice that they actually called Gilbert out on practically quitting.
Yeah. So it finally comes down to it, and then the final announcement is made, and just like I called many, many moons ago, Lisa Gibbons wins Celebrity Apprentice.
You didn't call it. You said you weren't. There were like 3 people you were deciding between.
No, Lisa was always one of them in there. It was Lisa, Vivica, and Geraldo.
That's like in the prediction video when you said I was saying Birdman the whole time. That's a load of bullshit.
No. What do you mean I was saying Birdman the whole time? For what?
That's what you said in the last video.
I don't remember what it was about.
Picture?
No. When it comes down to picture, someone put a gun in my head at work. They would ask me what would win Best Picture. My response is going to be Birdman. Mm-hmm. And then I said, I want Grand Budapest to win, but Birdman is what I'm hearing. So, yeah.
We're in the wrong video now.
Yeah. We'll talk about that with Ashley when we do the Academy Awards recap. So, it's officially announced that Season 15 is coming. So, we don't know when it's coming. We just know it is.
You don't even try to make the trash can now. You just just right to the floor.
It'll get to the trash can eventually. Okay, so Season 15 is coming. Trump has aspirations to run for president. I know that for a fact.
He says that every year.
Yeah, so who knows when we're going to get the 15th season of The Apprentice. I don't think we're going to go back to, quote-unquote, real people anymore.
Well,
I think it's just going to be celebrity from now on.
Well, it's still going to be fine because I'm not sure. I mean, I know his way of thinking is, Trump is, the end and the beginning and the end. Mm-hmm. But I'm pretty surely he would have to I mean, he clearly doesn't, but surely he must realize at some point that even if he finally, after all this talk for all these years, finally does run for president, there's no way people are voting for him.
I don't know. He has
there are people that love him, sure, for obvious reasons, but there are a lot of people that hate him too.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I can't foresee that actually,
You never know. Who knows nowadays? I mean, don't forget Arnold Schwarzenegger in this day and age could have been a president too, so they'd have to completely change history in order to make it happen, but could have been. Let's talk about what we've got for, we're going to end this video with talking about what we're thinking for people we'd like to see on the show.
This is all you.
You have anybody at all on top of your head you'd like to see on the show?
Nobody that actually... Nobody's actually possible.
Really?
Well, no names are jumping out at me at all, but none that are in that Z-grade celebrity territory that they'd actually do this.
Then again, you have people like Penn Jillette who are still relevant, so I mean...
Yeah.
Anything's possible. It's probably going to be the latest person from The Real Housewives or Who Gives a Crap. Because that's always how it is.
But there's usually... The musicians that do it are always still relevant.
Yeah. I would have called Weird Al Yankovic to do it before his latest album, honestly. I could see Weird Al on The Apprentice without a doubt. I don't know why. I just imagine it.
I know. Pauly Shore jumped out at me.
Pauly Shore would be a great Celebrity Apprentice contestant. Drew Carey. And
Drew Carey's really busy.
And I'll say right now, if I say people that have already been on a season, my apologies. Like I said, I'm new to this. I just started a couple years ago, so.
You're just with Drew Carey. Okay, so you're kind of going like they're graduating from Dancing with the Stars to The Apprentice.
In a sense, somewhat.
I know that happens a lot. I think.
I'm surprised. I'm honestly surprised Mario Lopez hasn't been involved in this, or Mark Paul Gosselaar, any of the Saved by the Bell cast.
Mario Lopez actually does stuff though.
Yeah, but he still could do this.
You're probably just thinking that subconsciously because I compared Johnny Damon and Daisy Slater a couple weeks ago. Maybe
that's great. The one I really want, obviously the one I really want, I actually got, and there's another one that I really want, brother, and that's the fact that I want Hulk Hogan on the show. I think would be great. Ric Flair would be great television, but I don't think it would ever happen. Hulk Hogan actually could happen.
The thing about it is
Goldberg.
Since Bret Michaels did it, you know that Hulk would be wearing the bandana even in the boardroom.
This is true. Chris Angel would be fun, but he again would have that pendulum schedule.
You're saying everybody from that fake list we got that was really awesome that ended up.
Yeah, exactly. There's a lot of great names.
Gordon Ramsay was on that list.
Gordon Ramsay's on that list. I think Dave Chappelle would be fun on the show.
I don't think that's something Dave Chappelle would do.
I don't know if they would do it or not, but a person I really would like to see on The Apprentice would be Jerry Seinfeld. Actually, I think he'd do really well.
I can see that right now. I can see him getting that call and going, well, NBC's been real good to me, but this is he just make noises at the phone.
That's like me saying Conan O'Brien. I know he would completely not do it on principle alone, and I don't blame him.
He'd do it to sabotage it.
Bob Einstein as Super Dave Osborne would be fun.
Don't do it in character. Andrew Dice Clay proved that.
Yeah, that's true. So Bob Einstein then. That'd be fine. I don't really know about maybe Mayim Bialik after everything ends with
her show is not going anywhere anytime soon.
James Van Der Beek's a good one. He's not really doing anything right now.
I don't really picture him.
You know one that I'm actually not... I'm kind of surprised given the fact that he seems to be so down with doing anything he possibly can to keep his name relevant is Jason David Frank. I don't have a problem with the guy personally, but I imagine him on The Apprentice. He'd have that Jesse James role.
That's a weird comparison.
I know, but that's just what jumped to my mind. Sorry. There's a lot of great people that I'd like to see on the show. People that probably never, ever get on the show, but... There's some... I didn't really name any women.
Some people that go to the roasts.
Yeah.
Like, those recurring people.
Mm.
And none of their names are jumping out now.
Great. I mean, Kel Mitchell's obviously doing nothing. Maybe he can do this. That'd be fun.
It would be weird to see some of these people in this environment.
That's the reason I want to see some of this
Just
stuff.
like, I've seen a lot of interviews with James Van Der Beek relatively recently.
Okay.
He seems, surprisingly, he seems way too friendly. Like, I don't know that he would last in this environment. I'd worry for him.
I could see that.
Because James Van Der Beek seems like a super, super nice guy.
What about Mike Tyson? That'd be very interesting.
Yeah, fucked up athletes are a popular choice, too.
Yeah. I wouldn't go for maybe Michael Jordan possibly, but no, I think he's probably, I don't know. Who knows at this point? It just depends on what the real criteria for Celebrity Apprentice is. If we knew what exactly it was, I could tell you 1,000 names.
People that have charities they're really passionate about.
That's true.
So
David Copperfield. David Copperfield does Project Magic. He has that island in the Bahamas that he uses for that as well. I think David Copperfield would really be good on the show too.
Somebody connected to NBC.
Mm-hmm.
You take Michael Richards. You put him on a team of nothing but black people.
Oh.
See what the ratings do.
Oh God.
Do it.
Oh my God. Yes. And this segment's Jump the Shark. Alright, so that's what... There's a couple ideas that we had for... or I had, I guess, in this case, for Celebrity Apprentice people that could be on the show. And like I mentioned on Twitter, it'd be kind of cool to see Don and Ivanka face off against each other. Maybe lead teams. I think that would be fun to see which one Trump would choose in that end.
That was weird.
Hey, he liked it, so I mean, and Don and Ivanka liked it too, so who knows? Then again, that being said, this was an interesting season for Celebrity Apprentice, and we will be chatting Apprentice again once we actually get some more. Yes?
No, not even related.
Okay, good. We'll be chatting Apprentice more once we get some more concrete information about season 15, so that's going to be coming up very soon. Probably, it's going to be a while before we talk Apprentice again, so enjoy it while we can. So that being said, obviously we've had a very busy past weekend. AJ's movie reviews just came out, and we had a brand new Versus, as well as the fact that the Oscars were yesterday. So we have that that's now over. Now we move on to the next possible thing that could be happening, which is, for me, WrestleMania. And then after that, smooth sailing to September, folks. So... That being said, we want to thank you guys and girls out there for watching our Celebrity Apprentice recaps. And once again, if you like these videos, you know how to tell your friends about them. Leave a comment, subscribe, spread the word about Pop and these videos if you want to continue to watch. Be my guest. We have a very varied plethora of information on this channel. Wrestling, theme parks, movies. It's strange how we have this nice little entertainment-based channel. So... we're not offering everything that everyone else is offering, and we're offering different things at the same time, so you guys can enjoy what we have here on this channel. So that being said, thank you guys and girls out there for watching, and until next year, boys and girls, that's all we got to say about that.